School. Bill Wilson along with Tony Geyer bringing you high school CIF football on Store Cable Sports. Robert Somm awaits to kick off. Hits a nice end-over-end kick that is going to be fielded by Chris Dykes. He's across the 10, 15, 20, 25, and will be brought to the ground at the 30-yard line. The St. Bonaventure Seraphs, 6-3, check that, 6-4 and 3-2 in the Tri-Valley League play. They had losses to San Ynez and Bishop Diego. Last week they won a big ball game against Moore Park by a score of 17-15, which enabled them to work their way into the playoffs. And at quarterback is Larry Gonzalez. Savard and Ybarra in the backfield. And the ball is going to go to the tailback, Savard, and Savard hammers inside and will pick up about a yard or so. And in on the stop for the Chargers was Dave Friedel. The Agoura Chargers, 4-1, 7-3 overall. On defense, second down 9. Larry Gonzalez, 14 touchdown passes on the year. Gives the ball to Ybarra. Ybarra tries to work his way around the right side, and once again over there for the Chargers, Dave Friedel, along with Dave Mount. Tony, going to be interesting tonight because the Seraphs have had a great deal of success when they've been able to control that offensive line of scrimmage, and it'll be interesting to see how the defensive front for Agoura is able to cover and contain that offensive line for the Seraphs.
I think you're exactly right, Bill. That's probably going to be the main looking part of the game. Excuse me. Can you hear me, Bill? Gonzalez
passes, and it's going to be complete, and it will be awful close to a first down. It was Gene Scampone. Scampone, a 5'10", 155-pound junior, appears to have picked up the necessary yardage for a first down. So on his first pass, Gonzalez connects with Scampone, and it looked for a moment that he might retreat and work his way out of a first down. However, he was able to work his way over the 40-yard line and pick up a first down for the Seraphs.
Well, back to what you were saying earlier, Bill. It's going to be, the game is going to be won and lost in the trenches, and what we call the offensive and defensive fronts. Both teams are about the same size, so there's no real big manhandling going to go on tonight.
Alan Colson split wide to the left. In the slot is Beebe. I formation behind Gonzalez. Gonzalez back to pass. Throws, and it should have been intercepted. Dennis Mangola had an opportunity to pick that pass off by Larry Gonzalez. Gonzalez was trying to work the ball into Alan Colson, who was running a curl route, and Mangola actually got in pretty good defensive position from his linebacker position.
Well, the Chargers were in a zone, and Mangola just dropped back into his coverage, and the ball was thrown right into his arms. I think it might have startled him a little bit.
Second down, 10. Beebe split wide to the left, split backfield, this time behind Gonzalez. Ybarra gets the call over the left side, and leg drive, tries to work forward, and in on the stop for the Chargers was Mike Bowman, along with Mike King.
Chris Ybarra is a mean running back, Bill. He runs out of the fullback position. He carried the ball 99 times this year for 527 yards. It's about 5.5 yards a carry. And those, like you said earlier, trying to control the ball and keep it away from Agoura with Ybarra and Gonzalez throwing the short passes. Gonzalez has a pretty good average per pass, so we'll talk about that after this play.
Well, obvious passing situations for the Seraphs. Colson goes wide to the right. Beebe split in a wing position on the right side. I formation. Gonzalez back to pass. Is looking downfield and throws the ball in an area that none of his receivers were working into. Beebe was running a little sideline route, and Colson was running downfield, and Gonzalez put the ball in between them.
I think Beebe was trying to run a little out and up, but he kind of lost his footing a little bit on the far sideline over there, and Gonzalez threw it where he thought Beebe was going to be.
Martin Williams, number 40, and number 90, Bill Brenneman, in your picture, awaiting Manny Fernandez's punt. Fernandez will hit it at about the 30-yard line. Good snap from center. Good rush by Cook. However, Fernandez gets it off, Williams fields it, and he actually is fumbling, and I believe the Chargers will maintain possession. Williams that time, Tony, looked like he was thinking about signaling for a fair catch. However, the ball hit the ground, and he tried to pick it up, and then it squirted free, and I believe it was John Gillette down there that covered.
It was a heads-up play by John Gillette. I think you're right, Bill. Marty Williams looked like he wanted to make a fair catch and decided against it. And an old phrase, he who hesitates is lost. This time he almost lost the football.
At quarterback for the Chargers, John DeGennaro. Brock Hoffman will be in the backfield. And Hoffman will get the call over the right side. And Hoffman will work his way over the 30-yard line to the 31. In on the stop for the Seraphs was Charlie Stickle. The guys up front, Jody McGee at center, Dan Selstad and Doyle Ott the guards, Mike Bowman and Brian King the tackles. The tight end is Don Cook, Mark Johnstone, and Bill Brenneman the wide receivers. Split backfield behind DeGennaro. Ball is going to be given inside to Brink, and Brink is going to work across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Eric Brink in there for an injured Dave Papadopoulou. Papadopoulou out about 2 weeks now with a bad ankle, and I don't think that we will see Papadopoulou tonight, and Eric Brink will be in taking over the chores for Papadopoulou. Third down, let's call it 2. Long count. DeGennaro, play action pass, doesn't have any receivers out, and he's going to pick up a first down, I believe, on his own. Tony, that looked like a broken play. None of the receivers went downfield, and he was on a rollout.
I think Ray was lined up the right tight end position. I think he might have got hung up at the line of scrimmage, but we've seen that all year. DeGennaro rolls right. Donnie Ray runs a little out pattern to the right side, but he wasn't capable of getting out of the defensive backfield. DeGennaro kept himself with the first down.
So the Chargers pick up a first down, 7 minutes, 15 seconds remaining to be played in this first period. It is the Chargers' first possession. Last week against Nordhoff, they had the ball 6 times in the first half, scored 5 touchdowns. Little counterplay to Hoffman. Hoffman runs out of a couple tackles, another. He may go all the way. He's got one man to beat, and he's finally going to be brought down from behind. Hustling in there for the Seraphs was Mike Harrison, and Brock Hoffman works all the way down to the 15-yard line, a 44-yard run that time on a little counterplay.
Well, Hoffman's the guy who's got him there, so now he's going to...
Let's take another look at that play, Tony. I believe we're going to have a chance to see Hoffman scamper down the field, 44 yards. A miss there, another miss. And then Harrison.
Had a nice angle on him, Harrison.
Ball is going to be given to, check that, DeGennaro takes it himself on a quarterback keep.
Well, Bill, we've had a chance to see Agoura numerous times this year, and Hoffman's been the workhorse. Starts the game off the same way. They just run that little crossbuck off tackle. And Mike Bowman and the whole left side of the line, Don Cook and Brian King just open up a huge hole over there.
Hoffman nearly 1,200 yards on the season in 10 games. DeGennaro will give to Hoffman, and Hoffman will work forward for a couple of yards.
Well, Agoura's going to stick to the running game tonight. I think they're going to see if they can make something happen with it. They've been successful all year. I don't think you'll see DeGennaro throw a whole bunch unless they get into some spots, in 3rd and long, 3rd and a bunch, or if they do get behind. But Frank Bonaventure is going to try to grind the ball tonight and keep the ball away from St. Bonaventure.
DeGennaro did have the flu earlier in the week. John back to pass, looking in the end zone, going to be intercepted. Nice interception by Steve Netzley. Netzley, a 5'11", 170-pound senior, was right there to make the interception in the end zone. And if DeGennaro had put a little more loft on the ball, it would have been, it probably would have been completed for a touchdown. However, Netzley was able to get in there and pick it off, and I think we'll get another chance to take a look at it, Tony.
I think you're exactly right, Bill. If we get a chance to see DeGennaro underthrows it just a little bit because Brenneman was open.
Netzley with the interception will bring the ball to the 20-yard line for the Seraphs, where Larry Gonzalez and company will take over. Little counterplay to Ybarra, and Ybarra is going to be hit, and hit hard by Mike King.
Well, Agoura had some penetration that time, Bill. And the time Ybarra got the handoff, he was jumping over his fullback, ran smack head on into Mike King. They both made great contact. Mike King made the tackle.
Larry Spinner, the coach for the Seraphs, said it. The key to their success was their defense, and it was certainly evident with that interception by Netzley, stopping the Agoura drive. Let's see whether or not they can get that offense charged up. Gonzalez again to Ybarra, and Ybarra is going to be awful close to another first down. And signaling that he had picked up a first down is referee Dave Baldwin. The referees tonight are referee Dave Baldwin. The umpire is Roger Palmer. The head linesman is Joe Garces, and the field judge is Mike Goff.
Looking into Agoura's defense tonight, Bill, they've come back into a conventional 4-3 out of their normal 5-2. They had a little problem this year covering the pass, and I think Coach Bonaventure installed it this week trying to get a better look and better defense for the pass.
Split backfield behind Gonzalez, and it's a little counter play, and it's well read. Mike Bowman, great job with the recognition on that little counter play. They faked to Ybarra and then gave it to Savard, and he was tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, Bowman's the, you'd call the mammoth lineman in the Agoura defensive line. He's 6'3", and he's 245 pounds. Last year he was All-Frontier League, second team CIF. Recruited heavily, and it's about time the cream comes to the top. It's playoff time.
Well, it'll bring up a second down and 10 situation. Gonzalez again back to pass, can't find a receiver, and then throws it in the general vicinity of Mike Beebe. However, Beebe was pretty well covered down there along with Alan Colson, as Larry Gonzalez, who actually has only completed 40% of his passes on the year, Tony, which is really not a great percentage. However, he does have 14 touchdown passes on the year.
Well, Gonzalez didn't play football last year as a junior, Bill. This is his first year, and he's a senior. Like you said, he's completed just about 40% of his passes. To be exact, he's got it written down here someplace, Bill. 96 of 241.
Third down in a bunch. Passing situation once again for Gonzalez. Rolling to his right, looking to find a receiver. Donnie Ray was there. Should have had the interception again. And that pass, once again, off the mark. It was intended for Mike Walsh. However, Gonzalez, again, is closer to an Agoura Charger than he was an offensive receiver.
Well, Agoura's dropping a lot of people back in the defensive pass coverage. Like I was saying, we saw them all year with a 5-man front. They've gone to a 4-man front. This time, an obvious passing down. They dropped 7 men into their zone coverage, and it's hard to find a receiver there.
Fernandez deep to punt for the Seraphs. Williams, nice punt by Fernandez. Brenneman signals for a fair catch at the 35-yard line. Excellent punt that time. 35-yard punt by Manny Fernandez.
Agoura put a 55-yard drive together the first time, only to be stopped by a turnover. Coach Bonaventure doesn't want any turnovers this week. They're going to have to be sharp. They're playing a good defensive football club, a good football club all around, and they have to be precise this week. There's no tomorrow.
Big win last week against Nordhoff. Hoffman again on the counter play. Does a fine job picking up 6 yards on the play. Great individual effort once again by Hoffman.
Well, like I said, Agoura's going to run the ball, I think, tonight, Bill. It's playoff time. You want to go with what got you there, and Hoffman's going to carry the ball a lot. And I think you're going to see the offensive line of Agoura do a good job tonight.
Johnstone will come wide to the right. Second down 4. And Hoffman will be stopped short of the first down. Marker short by about a yard. In on the stop for the Seraphs, Steve Lee. Lee, a 5'9", 165-pound senior. As Ron Kirkpatrick, the linebacker and defensive captain for the Seraphs, calls their defensive formation.
Well, Ron Kirkpatrick and Mike Walsh are leading the Seraphs in defensive side of the scrimmage in tackles this year. And got a very good write-up in the LA Times about themselves today.
2 minutes, 35 seconds remaining to be played in the first period. No score in the game. First round of the Desert Mountain Conference play. Hoffman will pick up a first down by a yard or two.
Well, like we were discussing it earlier, Billy. That time you saw 3 plays in the series, 11 yards gained. Hoffman carried the ball all 3 times. I don't think you'll see that all night long, but Hoffman will carry the ball tonight. I guarantee you 20, 22 times.
There's the patch. Last year's CIF champions, the Agoura Chargers, would like to repeat, although they've got a long way to go in order to accomplish that task. Quick give to Hoffman, and Hoffman works forward for 11 yards and a first down for the Chargers. Dragging tacklers, Mike Harrison was the guy that got the ride, as Bill Brenneman will check into the ball game.
Like you say, Bill, it's a long way to the CIF championship this year. It's like a new season. You play 4 preseason games, 5 preseason games, 5 league games, and you have to win 5 in the playoffs to win it all.
That'll be 1st and 10 for the Chargers on the Seraphs' 41-yard line. Counterplay to Brink, and Brink is going to be hit and really drilled at the line of scrimmage. And that defensive captain, Ron Kirkpatrick, in on the stop. Donahue, Robert Donahue also in on the stop for the Seraphs. Tony, maybe we can get into the common opponent situation. We can talk a little bit about that because both teams had an opportunity to play other teams' 6 common opponents. We can talk about that a little bit. DeGennaro in trouble, can't find a receiver, and then throws a pass in the general vicinity of Brock Hoffman. Actually just threw that thing away so he wouldn't be sacked for a loss. And we can look at some of those common opponents, and one thing is definitely apparent. Santa Clara, who is #1 in the Desert Mountain Conference, was able to beat both these teams. However, the Chargers actually were playing very flat, and they came back. However, they were not able to win. They lost by a score of 27-21. On the other hand, St. Bonaventure got blasted 26-0. 3rd down, 8. Passing situation for DeGennaro. Little screen.
Set up well, set up real good.
Donnie Ray with blockers in front of him, picks up a nice block. May go all the way and is brought down from behind. And I believe it was Ybarra, Chris Ybarra, tackling Donnie Ray at the 12-yard line. We should have another opportunity to take a look at that screen pass.
Get some great camera work here. I think we got an isolation on Donnie Ray. Oh, they set that up well. He's got 3 blockers in front of him, Bill.
Good block there. And then Ybarra drags him down at the 11-yard line. Good job with the cameras. Good job, Steve. 1st down and 10. Ball at the 12-yard line. Hoffman. And he works his way out of the tackle and is in the end zone. Touchdown. Extra effort. And Brock Hoffman is in for the score. Just 32 seconds remaining to be played in this first period. And thanks to a nice screen pass from DeGennaro to Donnie Ray, which set it up, Brock Hoffman able to work over the right side for 11 yards and a score. Taylor to hold, Robert Salm to add the extra point. Good snap. The kick is up and good.
Oh, it was a nice little drive by Agoura. 6 or 7 running plays, 3 attempted passes, 1 complete. The little screen to Donnie Ray, 35 yards, down the 8-yard line, bring it back to Hoffman, let him go 8 yards off tackle.
Get another chance to take a look at the touchdown run by Brock Hoffman. Good block by Eric Brink. Watch him. Right there.
Good second effort by Brock Hoffman.
Hoffman went down low and was able to dive into the end zone for the score as Robert Salm counts his fellow teammates. He says there's 10 of them out there. As you see Brock Hoffman take a little sip of refreshments. Nice night for a game, a little cool. Temperatures will be in the mid-40s, we're told tonight. Deep for the Seraphs is Chris Dyke and Mike Harrison. Psalm hits it, and it's going to be Dyke that takes it to 10. One man to beat, and bringing him to the ground and doing his job extremely well is Robert Psalm. Psalm has got to play safety. He stayed back. He got in good position. He broke down and was able to make a nice open field tackle on Dykes.
Very good execution by the Seraphs on the return there. The return, we'll get a chance to see it here. The return you can see is set up the middle. Dykes gets the ball on the far side, this close side of the field to us, and goes back to the middle, right? A little cutback, and finds his wall and takes off. And like Bill said, watch Robert Psalm. He's a safety valve, stayed home, and made the touchdown-saving tackle.
1st and 10 at the 50-yard line. Ybarra takes it over the right side and hits in there and picks up 4 yards. There's the gun in this very rapidly played first period. Both teams will not have to travel too far. Ball's at the 47-yard line. No penalty flags. There you see the score at the end of the first quarter. The Chargers 7, the Seraphs nothing.
A good first quarter, Bill. Both teams had 2 possessions, and Seraphs now have their 3rd. But go ahead.
I was going to say Frank Bonaventure there on the sideline certainly doesn't appear to be too happy with the field position that the Seraphs have got to start this this drive, because certainly I think, Tony, what will happen a lot of times is you'll get a run like that. Maybe you don't run it back for a touchdown. However, you get
loosen up a little bit. Instead of having your ball down your own 20, 25-yard line, being worried about making a mistake, you're at the 50. You can open up a little bit.
2nd down, 6. Gonzalez has got Beebe split wide to the right. Ybarra again with the call, tries to get outside. Nice tackle. Good shoestring tackle by Mike King. Ybarra trying to work his way around King, and King was right there to trip him up and bring him to the ground at the line of scrimmage.
King came from his outside linebacker position, went to turn Ybarra inside. Ybarra tried to go outside. Ybarra made a nice move.
Watch it, right?
King makes a one-handed tackle.
Good old right hand in there. And so it'll be 3rd down and 6.
If Ybarra doesn't go down, he turns the corner right there.
Gonzalez, long count. Back to pass. Looks downfield and throws behind his intended receiver, Gene Scampone. Scampone, just 150-pound junior, and the ball was thrown behind him. So once again, the Seraphs will be forced into a punting situation, and that'll mean Manny Fernandez.
Very apparent, Bill. Agoura worked on their pass coverage this week.
I think they certainly did, Tony. There you see Martin Williams and Bill Brenneman at the right corner of your picture. Fernandez hits another nice punt that Williams signals for a fair catch at the 14-yard line.
Once again, Don Cook almost blocked that punt. They must have seen something in the films about their punt team, and they're sending 4 guys after the ball.
Well, I think the snap is coming back a little bit slow.
Sure is.
Steve Spinner, the center, is going to have to put a little bit more juice on that snap, or I wouldn't be surprised if Cook or somebody doesn't block a punt before tonight's over.
I think Mount was coming after it also.
1st and 10 for the Chargers. DeGennaro's got Brenneman split wide to the left. Ball is given to Brink, and Brink will work forward for about a yard, and that's it. As you see Ron Kirkpatrick there, number 55. And also getting up from the bottom of the stack is John Muldoon. The 2 linebackers, Muldoon, 6'2", senior, and Ron Kirkpatrick, 6'185" senior, were there to shut off Brink for just a gain of a yard. Option play, DeGennaro pitches the ball, and Hoffman is going to be very close to a 1st down. I believe he's picked it up as he steps out of bounds and stops the clock. Sure enough, pickup of 10 yards on the play.
Well, they've run that play real successful this year. This time the out of bounds, they ran it to the short side. The out of bounds just kept Hoffman from turning it upfield. They ran him out of bounds. It's what? No, he did pick up the first down. Excuse me.
11 yards for Hoffman on the play. 1st and 10 for the Chargers. Brink. And Brink is going to be really laid to the ground by Ybarra. Boy, Ybarra, absolute picture-perfect tackle, Tony. He hit Brink and really put him to the ground.
Well, Ybarra is 175 pounds. I think Brink weighs 155, maybe 160 pounds.
Good tackle by Brink. Check that. Good tackle by Ybarra on Brink, I should say. 2nd down, let's call it 10. Hoffman gets the call, and Brock will move downfield and pick up about 4 yards on the play. And again, getting up from the bottom of the stack for the Seraphs is John Muldoon.
Brenneman bringing in the play. Once again, we got a good clean game started here, Bill. There's no penalty flags. The second quarter is moving along good. Agoura's trying to grind it out on the ground. They're being successful right now, keeping the ball away from Larry Gonzalez and the Seraphs.
3rd down, let's call it a long 5. Split backfield this time behind DeGennaro. Play action pass. Gray makes the catch and a 1st down and is tripped up at the 40-yard line. Kirkpatrick on the stop, but a gain of 9 yards on the play and a 1st down for the Chargers.
Well, we've seen DeGennaro throw the ball a couple times tonight. They've come back a little bit. You give Hoffman the ball, you give Brink the ball. The linemen start tightening up for the Seraphs. This time DeGennaro stands up and hits a tight end over the middle.
1st down and 10. Ball at the 40-yard line. Hoffman. Again, nice tackle by Ron Kirkpatrick. And the other linebacker in there, John Muldoon. Both of those linebackers very, very active tonight. And those guys certainly are very, very fine athletes because we've called their name and number quite a few times this evening. And I'm sure they'll be on a lot more before the night is over.
Both, like you say, both linebackers seem very active, and they move laterally very well, side to side.
Well, let's see what they can do this time. Hoffman trying to get around the corner, and Ybarra is the guy that makes the contact. However, Hoffman able to pick up 9 more yards and what appears to be another 1st down.
It's very close. I'm going to put you on the spot here in a second, Bill.
Okay.
We'll be ready for this.
Brock Hoffman. It is a 1st down. Nearly 120 yards per game average on the season. Brock Hoffman. And believe it or not, Brock Hoffman has picked up 100 yards already on 12 carries. That's incredible. 1st and 10. Hoffman going to pick up 2 more.
Oh, God.
Hoffman now up to 102 yards on 13 carries.
In the Southern Section Valley section football, that's concluding the San Fernando Valley, the Canal Valleys, the Tri-Valleys. Brock Hoffman was the 2nd leading rusher this year with 149 carries for 1,111 yards. He averages 7.5 yards a carry, Bill.
He has definitely been the workhorse, and I know Coach Spinner felt that if they could stop Hoffman, they might have a chance to win the game. If they can't, they'll be in trouble. DeGennaro, play action pass, looking for Brenneman, can't find him, doesn't have any other receivers. Cook releases, and Cook makes the catch and is going to be stopped short of a 1st down. Real heads-up play that time. Bill Brenneman, the only receiver downfield. Cook realized it and worked his way free, and DeGennaro was able to find him.
Well, you ex-quarterbacks love to see things like that. The play was designed to go to the left side of the field. DeGennaro was in trouble, started scrambling. Like you said, Cook just kind of made his block, held, counted 3, and released to the right side and picked up 8 yards.
3rd down and a yard. What do you bet, Hoffman? No, what do you bet, option play? DeGennaro takes it himself and nearly breaks it for a touchdown. It's going to be brought down at the 26-yard line. And nifty job that time, as you see DeGennaro with his shoe, telling the official, I've got to get my shoe back on. I think you'll see a good fake, Tony, to Hoffman, and certainly when he's running that well.
Well, throws a defensive end. When DeGennaro faked to Hoffman, faked the option play to the outside to bring number 85 for the Seraphs. Sid Kim, the defensive end on that side, froze, and DeGennaro turned it upfield and really ran into Brian King to slow him down. King was downfield looking for somebody to hit and make a downfield block.
First down and 10. Ball at the 26-yard line. The Chargers on the move. Hoffman again running out of tackles. That time he ran out of the tackle of number 77, Walt Williams. Williams, a 220-pound junior, unable to bring him down, and once again, Muldoon was there to make the stop. We want to thank a lot of people that have made these broadcasts available and made them possible. Hoffman on a pitch is going to be stopped short of the first down.
This time the Seraphs read that option play real well. The defensive backs came up, contained. The outside linebacker on that side came up and read well, and they just rode Hoffman out of bounds. Okay, Bill, we're putting you on the spot now. We're almost halfway through the game. Let's tell the fans what a Seraph is.
A Seraph, yeah, we should have talked about this in the pregame, but we didn't have quite enough time. A Seraph is a six-winged angel. Six-winged angel. Hoffman, again, will pick up a first down, and once again, Muldoon is in on the stop. Now, Tony, I do have to admit that I got a little bit of help on that call, and I believe it was Mr. Webster.
Mr. Webster, he's got a lot of pages.
Yes, Mr. Webster had that one in there for me. And if they're not a number six, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, six-winged angel, it's a group of angels. So you might say the Seraphs are a group of angels.
And they've got a big group of angels here and a lot of fans here tonight.
First and 10 for the Chargers. Hoffman dives forward and will be just short of another first down. Those guys up front did a fine job.
On your screen, you get a chance to see some Agoura High School football supporters in Round Table Pizza, Courtesy Chevrolet, California Federal, Agoura Equipment Rentals, Agoura Building Materials, the Agoura High School Charger Club, and Booster Club. Thank you.
Those guys make a lot of this possible, especially I know these CIF games. DeGennaro is going to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Big Walt Williams was there this time. And Walt wasn't about to let Mr. DeGennaro get free.
Williams is a 220-pound senior, a defensive tackle. He shot the gap, and DeGennaro just happened to be right there and wrapped his arms around him, dropped him for about a 3-yard loss.
You see the breath there coming out of the players. Nice cool night tonight. Hoffman on a little counterplay, may go all the way, and is going to be taken to the ground. Steve Natsley, the guy that made the interception, made a touchdown saving tackle at the 5-yard line, or Brock Hoffman would have been in for another score. He's already scored on an 11-yard run in the first period. And the Chargers once again knocking at the door. However, they need to pick up a first down because it's 4th and less than a yard.
Impressive ball control drive here.
First down Hoffman, touchdown Hoffman. Brock Hoffman getting some help from Dan Selstad and Doyle Ott, the two guards, along with Jody McGee, the center. Nice hole opened up.
5 or 6.
And Brock Hoffman in tonight for the second score. That drive consumed 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Robert Salm to add the extra point. And it is good. Just 3 minutes, 42 seconds remaining to be played in this first half. And the Agoura Chargers out in front by 14. That was a 87-yard drive and consumed nearly 5 minutes and 30 seconds. We'll take another look at that touchdown run over the left side. Boy, good effort out there. You got to give a lot of credit. I know I saw Jody McGee, the center.
Mike Bowman.
He had his nose guard all the way back into the end zone. Good effort.
4th and 1 call also, Bill. You're looking for the 1 yard for the first down. Agoura just beat him off the ball and blew him into the end zone, like you said.
Larry Conley at the left-hand side of your picture, and at the right-hand side is Chris Dykes, is Robert Somm. There's Dykes, number 25. Robert Somm ready to hit it. The Chargers out in front, 14-0. Somm with a squib kick that Dykes is going to have trouble fielding. Finally will cover it at the 15-yard line. Look out. Boy, he almost hit that hole and almost had an opportunity to run that thing all the way back, Tony. A lot of times you'll see that. The ball will be muffed or the ball will have some problems. As you see Dyke there, they'll have some trouble with the ball, and it just breaks the rhythm down a little bit.
Everybody kind of relaxes and freezes.
And they get out of their lanes, I think, is probably the biggest thing.
They kind of go for the ball instead of staying home. We get a chance to see Bonaventure on the sideline. You don't get to see him on the screen. Boy, he's irate with his special teams right now.
1st and 10 for the Seraphs. Ball at the 25-yard line. Ball is going to be given to the tailback this time, Jeff Savard. Savard picks up 4 yards on the play. And I think the Seraphs would certainly like to put some points on the board to stay in this football game, Tony. Trailing 14-0, and if they were able to get a touchdown, or at least maybe 3 points, they certainly would feel a lot better, I'm sure. They just have 2 minutes, 40 seconds to do it, however.
Some kind of points would be helpful.
I formation, Gonzalez throws the ball. It's going to be trapped. They're going to rule it was incomplete. And the pass was intended for Alan Colson. Colson, a 5'8", 150-pound senior out there, trying to run a little look-in route.
The Agoura defense tonight, Bill, is real stingy. St. Bonaventure's only got 2 first downs in the first half so far.
Clock is stopped with the incompletion. 2 minutes, 33 seconds remaining to be played in this first half. Gonzalez, again, back to pass, looking for Beebe and throws it outside once again. A lot of pressure. Dave Mount and Dan Hastings applying the pressure as Larry Gonzalez unable to get the ball to his intended receiver, Mike Beebe.
Well, it was 3rd and 6, and the front 4 of Agoura just kind of pinned their ears back and went after the quarterback. The defensive back 7 just dropped in their zones, and Beebe wasn't open.
Well, let's see whether or not the center, Omar Castro, is the center this time. It's a high snap. Fernandez hits it again, a lot of pressure. Good punt that Williams signals for a fair catch at the 40-yard line. The Chargers will have excellent field position. They'll have plenty of time, 2 minutes, 22 seconds.
All 3 of their timeouts.
And DeGennaro, as Martin Williams does the right thing, the wise thing, signals for the fair catch. DeGennaro will have Brink and Hoffman in the backfield.
Might see him loosen up a little bit here.
Back to pass, looking for the tight end, Donnie Ray, can't find him open, and then throws a ball intended for Hoffman. Our first penalty flag of the night. And we'll have to check the penalty. Holding call.
That was DeGennaro might have thrown a pass that he might want back right now. Mike Walsh, the linebacker for St. Bonaventure, had Hoffman covered like a blanket. And DeGennaro tried to force it in there. Could have been intercepted.
Referee Dave Baldwin talking to the captain out there, who is number 44, Chris Ybarra. And I'm sure the Seraphs will take that penalty, a 10-yard holding penalty. And we'll get the call.
Okay, we've got a holding on the blue team. We've got a first down.
Well, you got to look for something here. not real long. You got 2 minutes and 15 seconds, but they want to pick up a first down at least. So you might look for Donnie Ray over the middle or Hoffman off tackle or something.
1st and 10. DeGennaro in trouble. Again releases the ball and into the hands of Cook. And they're not going to rule out an incompleted pass, I'm sure. Cook never had possession of the ball. It'll be ruled as an incomplete. And boy, there was a very vicious hit. And I think we'll get another chance to take a look at it.
I think it was 25, Chris Dykes, the corner.
Cook will take a good shot.
DeGennaro kind of opens him up, though. Oh, 48. Mike Walsh.
Boy, Walsh hit Cook a good shot.
Sure did.
And he certainly didn't have possession, so just ruled an incompleted pass. It'll come back to the line of scrimmage, where it'll be 2nd down 20. 2 minutes, 7 seconds remaining in the first half, and some confusion out there, and I believe the Seraphs are going to use their first timeout. And indeed they do, as Frank Greminger trots out to his offensive huddle, where he will talk to John DeGennaro and the rest of the gang.
Well,
how's it going?
That last play, DeGennaro on the run kind of threw the ball to Cook a little high and opened him up.
Like this.
Walsh had a nice shot at his ribcage. You hate to see something like that. You say the old expression, hearing footsteps over the middle, you want to catch the ball over the middle. Cook definitely wanted to catch it. He just took a tremendous blow and dropped the ball.
Some of the defensive players, Dan Hastings there, number 33, Dave Mound, number 77, Dennis Mangola with the cap on, and Coach Greminger out there trying to talk to his offense and hoping that with 2 minutes and 4 seconds that they don't have a mishap or some kind of a turnover, because certainly there is a lot of time. The Seraphs have 2 timeouts remaining. The Chargers have all 3 of their timeouts.
Well, it's been definitely Agoura football tonight. They carried the ball on their last scoring drive. Building went 87 yards. They took them 5.5 minutes. They've kept the ball away from the Seraphs. And when the Seraphs had the ball, they've only been able to pick up 2 first downs. Good, tough, stingy football.
2nd down 20. Draw play, Hoffman. And there you hear the hitting. The ball pops free. However, Hoffman is going to be ruled down. Good hit out there. Charlie Steckel in on the stop of Hoffman. If the Seraphs are able to hold the Chargers here on 3rd down, I would think that the Seraphs would use another one of their timeouts.
Well, they've got 2 left now, and like you say, if they do hold them here, which it is 3rd and 16, they'd like to use a timeout, see if they get the ball back, and maybe throw the ball around a little bit, trying to get some points on the board.
Clock winding down, 1:25 left in the first half. The Chargers out in front by 14. Brink will not pick up a first down, and the Seraphs will use another one of their timeouts, so they will have 1 timeout left. Michael Walsh in on the stop on Brink.
Well, you've seen the special teams of the Seraphs, the 2 kickoffs they've returned, they've almost broken. So now if they can get their punt return in gear like their kickoff returns, they get some good field position after the punt and maybe be able to put some points on the board and give them an uplifting feeling going into the locker room.
Well, I'm sure they would certainly get a great boost with some points. We can look at another common opponent last week. The Chargers really thumped Nordhoff by a score of 35-0. And when the Seraphs played Nordhoff, they were able to beat them 21-0. So I think if we go down the list, the Agoura Chargers beat Oak Park 33-6. The Seraphs also beat Oak Park, but only by 17-6.
Well, defensively, the Seraphs seem to keep up with Agoura, and you can see they're playing well defensively tonight. But Agoura just seems a little more explosive on offense.
Psalm in punt formation, and he hits a terrible punt. It goes off the side of his foot. However, it gets a tremendous bounce. That ball has rolled 25 yards, Tony. That ball would have been about a 20-yard punt had it not rolled, and it was finally down at the 22-yard line.
So that makes it 28, 39-yard punt.
Almost a 40-yard punt, and it probably would have only been a 20-yarder had it not gotten the roll. Now the clock under a minute to play.
Well, you're definitely right, Bill. They got a 20-yard roll on because a little pressure from the Serifs there on the punt, trying to block it, make something happen. Kind of shanked it a little bit.
45 seconds left in the first half. Gonzalez gives the ball to Ybarra, and Ybarra will get to the 27-yard line, and the Serifs use their last timeout. They stop the clock with 33 seconds remaining.
Well, I think that roll on the punt took the Serifs out of what they had in mind and running for the last minute and 10 seconds of the half. Being deep in their own territory now at their 28, they took the ball on the 22. I don't think they wanted to make a mistake, Trent. Possibility of giving the ball back to Agoura, and Agoura might have been able to tack on some more points.
Larry Gonzalez, the quarterback for the Serifs, has been throwing the ball on an average of at least 20 passes per game. So I think we're going to certainly see him put the ball up a little bit more in the second half. And he was really kind of off the mark, Tony. And I think his completion percentage that we talked about, the 40% completion percentage that he has on the year, is probably about where he's at right now, maybe even a little bit less.
Well, I'll see if I can get some stats at halftime. I think we have a statistician sitting next to us, and we'll cheat over his shoulder a little bit and be able to move some stats on.
You see Brock Hoffman over there working on a injury with some ice.
Was that a finger or something? Putting some ice on the finger?
Second down, let's call it 4. 33 seconds. Gonzalez, screen pass, and it's going to be in and out of the hands of Ybarra. And Gonzalez really got smacked after he threw the ball. Hastings was in there. He was one of the guys. And also applying the pressure was Rocky Lundy. And on a screen pass, Tony, you got to give your quarterback a little bit more time than that.
Although you're taught to release and get out in front of your halfback that's going to be catching the screen pass, you have to make some kind of contact, give your quarterback, like you say, Bill, a second and a half, 2 seconds to drop back.
Third down, 4. Ybarra will be stopped short of a first down, and I think the Chargers will use one of their timeouts.
I think Bonaventure's going to say, well, we've almost blocked 3 punts tonight. Let's try it again. Let's make them kick, give us a chance to get the ball, and maybe put on some more points, because I think it's going to be an interesting second half. I think you might see the Serifs open up a little bit.
Well, certainly the defense did their job. And pretty good crowd out here tonight on this chilly autumn evening.
It's definitely cold. When I came off the freeway today, the bank up on the corner had a little thermometer up there and it said 49 degrees, and that was about 6:45. So
I'm sure that will get a little bit cooler as the night goes on. Just 22 seconds left to be played in this first half of the CIF Southern Section Playoff Desert Mountain Conference.
let's see if Agoura decides to come after it this time.
Williams and Brenneman deep for the Chargers. And watch Cook. Now they don't.
Not like they've been. A nice punt.
Hernandez hits a great punt that Brenneman is going to field at the 30.
Get out of bounds, Bill. Get out of bounds.
He doesn't hear you. However, the clock will be stopped. And in on the stop on the special teams was Mark Garcia. And Brenneman should have gotten out of bounds as the Chargers use another one of their timeouts. They've got 10 seconds left. They have used 2 of their timeouts. They have 1 timeout remaining.
Well, with 10 seconds in a timeout, you've got a chance to run 2 offensive plays. If you throw the ball and it's incomplete that stops the clock, you might have a chance to run 3. I think you might see DeGennaro put the ball up here.
Well, they've got nothing to lose. They're out in front, 14-0. And we'll see what Coach Frank Bonaventure and John DeGennaro decide to do. Back to pass, looking for Brenneman. Brenneman makes the reception and he'll get out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Just 3 seconds. And it appears, Tony, that they will just have one more play.
Well, they ran a deeper pattern.
Let's take another look at it. Brenneman will run a sideline route. The ball well thrown by DeGennaro.
Nice touch on the pass. That time Brenneman did hear you, Bill, and got out of bounds.
Mike Harrison over there pushing Brenneman out of bounds. So this should do the first half for us. Just 3 seconds. Unless there's some kind of a penalty. DeGennaro again in trouble. Now he's going to run, and rather than trying to do something fancy, gets tackled at the 25, and there you hear the gun. The first half is history at Agoura High School. The score, the Agoura Chargers 14, the St. Bonaventure Seraphs nothing. We'll be back with the third half. Check that, the third half. How about the second half and the third quarter right after this? Agoura High School, the third period. The captains for both teams ready to meet out in the middle of the field. And referee Dave Baldwin's out there. Mike Bowman and Donnie Ray talking things over. Coach Frank Greminger, Dave Mount there playing in the mud, drawing X's and O's. Talking to his buddy Dennis Mangola. Said now, okay, after the game, we're going to go to round table for pizza. There you see some of the halftime statistics. And it's actually been all Agoura tonight, Tony. .30 carries in the first half for 178 yards. And certainly, I think the first downs, obviously, 13 for the Chargers. St. Bonnie has only picked up 2 first downs. And I know in the passing department, it's really incredible.
John DeGennaro passed for 73 yards. Excuse me, I'm having a little bit of a headset problem.
John DeGennaro there, and we're awaiting the Seraphs, who still have not come back out onto the field. Certainly, I think Gonzalez has had a tough night so far, Tony, in the first half. He's only completed 1 pass out of 9.
And that's below his 40% completion rating, and his 1 pass was completed for 7 yards.
Yeah, that is certainly kind of tough. He's got 7 yards. On the other hand, yeah, DeGennaro's completed 4 passes out of 6, as we see the Seraphs now finally making their appearance for 73 yards.
DeGennaro was 4 for 6 for 73 yards and 1 interception. That was a little corner route he threw in the end zone that was intercepted early in the first quarter.
I guess the leading ground gainer, once again, especially very, very effective and efficient. Brock Hoffman carried the ball 20 times in the first half, picked up 136 yards.
Well, that won't do anything for his average. I mean, that's below 7.5 yards a carry, but like you said, Bill, very efficient and controlling the ball that way. They've been able to keep it away from the Seraphs, and like you said, they only had, the Seraphs that is, only had 2 first down and only ran 18 offensive plays in the first half compared to 36 for the Agoura Chargers.
Well, it's been all Agoura in the first half.
And the defense is definitely a standout tonight for Agoura.
And Bill Brenneman, along with Scott Kraft number 48 there at the top of your picture, Bill Brenneman number 90 at the bottom of your picture. And the kicker is David Brandt. Brandt, 5'11", 145-pound senior. Ready to tee it up. We have not seen him at all tonight.
Agoura kicked off to start in the first half, and Seraphs had no reason to kick off during the first half.
Chargers out in front by 14. Brandt, Nice kick. It's going to drive Brenneman back to the 5-yard line. Across the 15. And is going to be tackled just over the 20-yard line. So the Agoura Chargers will take over.
Real good kick. Special teams for the Serifs tonight have probably been their positive note. They broke a couple kickoff returns almost to touchdowns. They had 35 yards on their first return, and they got 37 yards on their second return. This time a nice kickoff down to the 5-yard lines. They held within their 20.
1st and 10, ball at the Charger 21-yard line. Hoffman will get the call, and Brock will move across the 25-yard line, pick up 4 yards on the play, and a little bit slow getting up off the ground is Walt Williams. Hoffman able to pick up 4 yards on 1st down.
Right back where he started.
Brink this time, and Brink hits inside, picks up a couple on the play. In on the stop for the Serifs, John Muldoon once again.
I think, Bill, the Chargers are going to have to watch themselves, not let themselves get complacent. It's getting cold right now. The fog's moving in, so it's getting a little bit wet out there. And a couple turnovers here could put St. Bonaventure back in the game. They have to be very careful and play sharp football.
3rd down, let's call it 2. Brink is going to be tackled, and it'll be awful close to a 1st down. It'll depend a lot on the spot. And it appears that Dave Baldwin may have to bring the chains in.
For first measurement tonight. No, he called it a 1st down. I thought I saw the same thing you did, Bill. The referee waving his hands to stop the clock. I thought they were going to bring the chains on also.
That'll give the Chargers their 1st down and 10. The 31-yard line. Hoffman with running room. Look out. He may go all the way. Brock Hoffman, it's a foot race. Nobody's going to catch him. 69-yard touchdown run by Brock Hoffman. 69 yards. My goodness, he had 136 in the 1st half. He's picked up 69 yards on one play, and he had about 4 or 5 yards on another play. Brock Hoffman is at about 210 yards.
Let me get some stats real quick
for the night. Boy, great exhibition of running, and it didn't take long. Robert Saum to add the extra point, and he drills it right through the middle of the uprights.
I think that helped Brock's average a little bit for tonight. He's now got 22 carries for 209 yards.
Well, I wasn't too far off. I said 210. There you see the score. The Agoura Chargers 21, the Serifs nothing.
Maybe we'll get a chance to see that again, Bill. I'm not sure if they got a replay or not, but Hoffman made a little move to the outside, move to the inside, broke into the middle of the field, and then kind of dipped to the right.
Here it is.
Outside, inside. Now watch this move right here around the defender, and he's gone.
Boy, he ran out of a tackle, and it was Chris Dykes, and then it was a foot race, and chasing him was Steve Natsley. Natsley was the guy that made the interception on the pass in the 1st quarter. As Frank Bonaventure has to be a little relieved. His team out in front by 21 points. And that's certainly a fine way to start play in the 2nd half. Robert Saum.
Well, I guess they're not complacent. I don't have to worry about that. At least Hoffman.
Saum hits a short end-over-end kick that's going to be taken by Chris Dykes. And Dykes hits up inside and will be tackled across the 30 at the 31-yard line by a host of Chargers.
I think that's one thing that Bonaventure might have mentioned at halftime was the inability of the special teams to cover the kickoff. And they looked much better on that play.
Larry Gonzalez, just 1 of 9 for 7 yards in the 1st half. Hopes to get on track here If not, it'll be a long night. First down and 10 for the Seraphs. Ball will be given to Ybarra, and Ybarra is going to be stacked up by Hastings and Bowman, and also helping out was Mangola. Ybarra able to pick up 2 yards on the play. And Tony, you had mentioned that the coaches from St. Bonaventure had come down a little bit early before the half was over, and you overheard them talking about running the ball a little bit off tackle.
Yeah, the last minute and a half of the first half, we'll talk about it after this play.
Gonzalez has got an I formation. And the ball is going to be given to the tailback, and Mike Bowman does a super job bringing down Jeff Savad.
Well, Bill, I was saying the coaches in the press box for St. Bonaventure had come down out of the top of the press box and watched the last minute and a half from our vantage point, and they were talking about having to run their slants, their 35 and 36 slants. They're off tackles, as you said, to the odd side into the even side, not knowing what St. Bonaventure calls. You run 5, that means a 5-hole on the left side or your right side and a 6 on the opposite side, trying to control the ball a little bit.
Gonzalez back to pass, throws it, and there was nobody in the area. He was either trying to throw the ball to Mike Beebe or Gary Scampone, or Beebe, the intended receiver. That time he threw the ball right in between them, so that makes it 1 of 10, and that is a little bit below his 40-yard, or check that 40%. That puts him down at 10%.
I was going to say quick, let's do some quick math.
I didn't even use the old calculator for that one. Brenneman and Williams.
Bad snap.
Oh, boy. Although Fernandez hits it, and it's a pretty good punt that will roll and be down at the 29-yard line. So the Chargers will take over. They'll have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Well, this time we'll see if we can run some time off the clock. The first possession for Agoura didn't last too long. They ran about 6 plays, and Hoffman went 69 yards.
First round of the CIF playoffs. 1st and 10. Ball is given to Brink. Brink fights forward, maybe picks up 2 yards on the play.
Brink's doing all the inside running tonight, and that's usually given to the chores are given to a big fullback. And Brink at 5'8" and 160 pounds, taking some pounding on the inside.
That'll be a 2nd down and 8. Passing situation possibly.
Well, you got Hoffman in the backfield. I'm not sure if it's a passing down, being 21 points ahead.
Little trap this time to Brink, and Brink will get to the 34-yard line. Kirkpatrick once again in on the stop. So it will bring up a 3rd down and 6 for the Chargers.
I think this might be a passing down, something easy though. I don't think you want to see anything crazy. I don't think Agoura wants to come up with a turnover. I know Frank Ermdude would not want to see an interception here.
Pitch this time to Hoffman. Hoffman will pick up a 1st down, and a nice block by Bowman, and he almost broke it. Hoffman shoved out of bounds at the 49-yard line, and he picked up just a super block by Mike Bowman. And maybe we'll get another chance to take a look at it. I don't know, but I'll tell you, big number 74, Mike Bowman, 6'3", 245 pounds. He was out in front of Hoffman, and he really did a super job.
Boy, he was moving. I saw that same thing, Bill. It just came out and annihilated a linebacker. We're going to get a chance to see it here. Watch him pull out of his tackle position.
Watch the block, big 74.
Boom. 245 pounds. No, thank you.
Good night, Irene. 1st and 10, ball at the 49-yard line.
You're running a 6, Marty. You're running a 6.
DeGennaro in trouble, is going to run out of trouble, and he's got some. Yeah, he's looking for a block from McGee. However, he's able to get outside. There's a flag that's thrown, and it appears as if maybe McGee, a little bit of an illegal block from behind the old clip. And I'm sure the officials will call that one back. Unfortunately, I think McGee, more than anything, it was not his body that was blocking him. I think it was just his breath that maybe blew him down, because he certainly didn't make very much contact.
We're going to get a chance to see it here again. And, Bill, you and I saw the same thing. McGee gets out in front, tries to throw a block. I don't think he means to make a clip.
Here we have a clip on the blue team. Still a first down.
Oh, boy. Kind of cheap there.
His breath. It had to be his breath, Tony.
His breath made the block.
I think so. I think we're going to have to get some toothpaste or some mouthwash for McGee. Hoffman this time with Bowman out in front of him trying to set up a block, and he does. And Hoffman is going to be shoved out of bounds at the 39-yard line. It'll be very close as you hear the official, or at least I heard the official yelling close, 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 talking about the chains and talking about the first down, and I believe they're going to have to bring the chains all the way across the field. There you see the penalty situation. Chargers with 2 penalties, and I'll tell you that last penalty certainly was a very, very suspect call. I think McGee actually pulled off and did not block. However, the officials ruled that he was there on the clip. Hoffman now has brought the ball to the 39-yard line, where we're measuring to see whether or not the Chargers have picked up a first down. Having some problems getting the chain spotted. As you see the officials looking. What has to happen is there is a little clip in that chain, Tony, and they'll put that in one of the yard markers, which would be the 45-yard line, and then they'll stretch the chain. And it appears as if either the official's hand is caught in the chain or something.
Well, what I saw earlier, Bill, was Mark Johnson was coming on the field and tripped over the chain. He might have pulled one of the links, stretched it open, might have broken the chain itself.
There it is, right there.
Yep.
The chain obviously having some problems.
Well, Hoffman's off to a tremendous start in the second half. The 2 sweeps, he just takes Bowman, and Mike Bowman getting out and pulling from his tackle position, just running over people.
Well, they're still wrestling with the chains. And hopefully this mic is not breaking up as bad on the broadcast as it is on the headset here, because it certainly is.
Well, I was just hearing you, Bill, and you sound pretty good my way. It might just be your headset there itself.
Okay. Well, they're still wrestling around with that chain.
We want to see
and you kind of see the and I believe it's one of the officials. He's actually cut his finger, and that's one of the doctors right there. They may have to sew that thing up because
Hayashi, Dr. Hayashi.
Hayashi down there, and you don't see this very often.
Well, now I'm putting it together. They're holding that chain for the measurement, and I was saying how Mark Johnson came on the field and actually tripped over it. He was laying on the ground. He must have been holding the chain.
What happened, I think, Tony, you're exactly right. His hand was caught in there, and the chain got pulled tight. His finger was caught in between, and something similar happens sometimes to people that are out roping when they're throwing a rope and they get their hand caught when they're dallying on the horn, and that's exactly what happened.
Man, a cold evening like that, the sucker cut your finger up pretty good.
Well, look at we shouldn't say look at the blood dripping out of there, but
it's maybe not cut, it might be broken.
Well, it could be. I did see some blood that's been dripping down there. My goodness.
As we have a minute, it's nothing like Theismann's injury Monday night.
No, not at all.
You have your striped shirt in the car?
No, I sure don't. However, I think the referee, Dave Baldwin, is going to check to see if Hoffman's got a first down, and he does. So this was our second measurement of the night, and it was a measurement that has got an injured zebra. And I'm not sure if it's the head linesman, Joe Garces. It's either Joe Garces or Mike Goff. And they're still attending to the official.
As you know, it could be a dangerous job.
Well, they certainly aren't going to get play underway because the referee, Dave Baldwin, is still off the field. And he is very concerned that they get the finger either into some kind of a splint or a Band-Aid so it'll stop the bleeding. My goodness. Very, very freak accident.
Mark Johnstone probably doesn't even realize that it was his little trip that might have something to do with it.
Well, that's Dave Baldwin standing at the midfield stripe, and he's going to come back off the field once again. And here he comes, and he's going to see how his buddy, I believe it's Joe Garces. And they may end up going with only 3 officials, Tony.
Or until at least he can get back into the game. Hoffman picked up 15 yards, Bill, on that last carry to put him at 24 carries for 240 yards.
See referee Dave Baldwin there, and Mike Groth and Roger Palmer saying, okay, do we do it with 3 or do we wait until Mr. Garces can get back out onto the field? Some of the defensive players on the Agoura sideline: Dennis Mangola, number 68, Dave Friedel, number 28, John Gillette, one of the wide receivers. And the official is still being attended to, and it appears as if Dr. Hayashi has put a splint on the finger. And
looks like they're going to go ahead with 3.
Well, they're trying to get the chains set. So it'll be first down and 10. Ball will be placed at the 39-yard line. 6 minutes, 10 seconds remaining to be played in this third period. And that is going to be the infamous encroachment. Big number 77 out there, Walt Williams, jumped into the neutral zone.
Sounded, with our handheld mic on the sidelines, we could hear DeGeneres. It sounded like he changed his cadence or his call a little bit on that play and did bring him off sides.
Okay, you've got a dead ball, you've got an encroachment, it's on the defensive team, it's a 1st and 5.
1st and 5. So after this long pause and delay with a referee's injury, we're back at it. Option play. DeGennaro will pitch it to Hoffman. Hoffman tries to get turned around the corner, and he really can't get the corner turned. And coming up and laying a very, very nice hit on Brock Hoffman was Mike Walsh.
Chris Dykes came up from his corner and contained well. Like I said, Mike Walsh came up and made a good hit from his linebacker position, kind of turned him in a little bit.
And it appears as if Joe Garces is going to leave the game and have that finger taken care of probably at a nearby hospital or emergency room.
They have the Agoura Urgent Care Center right up the end of the road at Canaan Road.
2nd down, let's call it a yard. Counterplay. Brink will pick up a 1st down, and that's about it.
No, you're definitely right, though. Joe Garces is going to leave the stadium. And you said you saw blood, so I can't imagine he's going to go down and maybe have that thing stitched up.
Probably stitched up and set. In on the stop again for the Seraphs was Ron Kilpatrick. Kilpatrick, the defensive captain out there for the St. Bonaventure Seraphs. 5 minutes remaining to be played in this third period. The Chargers out in front, 21-0. Hoffman again to the 21-yard line, and Walt Williams tackling Hoffman. Hoffman a little bit slow back to the huddle there. He had a sore well, kind of a hip pointer. It wasn't really on the outside part of his hip. It was kind of on his inner hip. They had some ice on it right before the end of the first half, and Hoffman able to pick up 5 yards on the play.
That was his 27th carry of the game.
DeGennaro back to pass, has got a receiver open, and it's going to be caught. Nice catch. Diving catch down at the 5-yard line by Donnie Ray. I thought actually DeGennaro was going to try to get to Brenneman, Tony, because Brenneman was down in the end zone wide open, and Donnie Ray actually uncovered as the ball was in the air, and he made a miraculous diving catch. Let's take another look at it.
We get another chance to look at watch DeGennaro though, Bill. You being the ex-quarterback, well, we don't get a chance to see DeGennaro.
How about
here's a great catch right there.
Isolation. Boy, great concentration. Good job with the cameras. Good job down in the truck again, Steve.
Perfect word, Bill. Concentration.
1st and goal from the 5. Chargers again. Option play. DeGennaro is going to take it into the end zone for the score. John could have pitched it, instead elected to keep it himself, cut up inside, and was able to work his way into the end zone. A 5-yard touchdown run with 3 minutes and 53 seconds remaining to be played in this 3rd period.
That's why they call it the option. DeGennaro says, well, Mr. Hoffman, you've got 3 of them tonight. I'm going to take this one myself.
Robert Somm to add the extra point. Kick is good once again. Robert Somm, 4 for 4 on the night. And there you see the score. The Chargers out in front by 28.
Agoura is impressive tonight, Bill. This is the sharpest I've seen him all year.
We'll take another look at that touchdown run. And Tony, it was a good fake inside, and
like
here it is.
Said, either one of them could have taken it. Instead of trying to handle the ball one too many times, DeGennaro put it away and tucked his head in and went in the end zone.
Chris Dykes made the stop on DeGennaro, and the Chargers out to a commanding 28-0 lead. And I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we saw some substitutions, Tony, because DeGennaro has been sick all week. And I had an opportunity to talk to his father at halftime, and he said that he has not been able, actually hasn't eaten anything today at all, if you can believe that. And he's done a great job tonight. Brock Hoffman has really been on his game. The offensive line has done a superb job as Robert Somm hits a short kick that Dykes will field at the 15-yard line. And he will bring it back to the 35-yard line where the St. Bonaventure Seraphs will take over. They'll have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
I think you're right, Bill. I think you'll see the first unit, the defensive unit, next couple series in the game, but I think we'd like to take a moment here to thank Taco Bell and Burger King, Baskin Robbins, and everybody else you see on your screen there, Numero Uno Pizza, for the support and they have given for the Agoura High Booster Club and the Parents Club. They've helped up a lot this year. Like Bill said earlier, without them, a lot of this couldn't happen.
That's exactly right. A lot of this in this broadcast most likely probably would not have been able to happen also. 1st and 10, ball at the 35-yard line. Gonzalez, play action pass, looking downfield for a receiver, throws the ball and it's nearly intercepted by John Gillette. Gillette was back there step for step. The intended receiver was Gene Scampone. And Gillette had excellent coverage that time. And once again, an incompleted pass, and that will be 1 for 11.
Let me check the stats right now, but I think you're right, Bill. I think it's 1 for 11. Back to what we were saying, I do think you'll see the first team of the Agoura defense for another series or maybe 2. But the offense, I'm not real sure. DeGennaro's got the flu. He hasn't eaten anything. Hoffman's carried the ball 27 times. Brink's been taking some shots in the middle. I do think you'll see some reserves.
2nd down, 10. Friedel is on a blitz. Gonzalez is, absolutely smacked. A ball is free and the Chargers have recovered. Don Cook. And the recovery was by Jody McGee. And Don Cook was the guy that applied the pressure. And boy, he really hit Gonzalez. Gonzalez didn't know what was coming. It was the old freight train, number 86, coming around the bend. We'll get another chance to take a look at it. Bottom of your picture, watch him, number 86.
Gonzalez just turns and opens up right here. Boom!
There's the ball.
Ouch!
And Jody McGee was there to recover. The Chargers, a golden opportunity on the fumble by Larry Gonzalez. The ball at the Seraphs' 26-yard line. And it appears as if somebody's having an equipment problem. It's Big Mike Bowman out there having a problem getting his
snapping his helmet
snapped. Getting some help there from his buddy.
Okay, guys, I'm ready to play. Let's play again.
Dan Selstad helping him out over there. 1st and 10. Brink is going to be tripped up by Williams.
Well, like we had mentioned, Bill, DeGeniero's still in the game, but Brock Hoffman's out. He's being replaced by Dave Sturt. He's 6'4" and 195 pounds.
So the Chargers, 28 points in front, have got a little bit more than a quarter to go.
Get a chance to take a look at our play-by-play man there.
Trying to stay warm. Second down, let's call it 9. Option play. DeGeniero is going to be tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. Good penetration that time by Chris Ybarra. Ybarra was there. He wasn't fooled at all by the fake inside to Brink, and he was able to stop DeGeniero for a loss on the play. There you see the turnovers. They're all even. A fumble and an interception. Pretty well played game tonight as far as mistakes.
I think there's only been 3 penalties in the game.
The only thing that really slowed us down is when our head linesman Joe Garces went out with a broken finger. Stewart is going to run out of a tackle. Look out, he may go all the way. Runs out of another tackle at the 5-yard line and then is going to be brought to the ground. What an effort.
Bulldog. He's a big boy, Bill.
Finally, bringing down Dave Stewart was Frank Castro. And David Stewart in there for Brock Hoffman. We'll take a look, one of our isolation shots on the tailback, Dave Stewart. Runs out of that tackle.
He's got long legs, man.
Takes 3 of them to bring him down.
Like roping a stallion or something.
Ball inside the 10-yard line at the 6. Pitch, and Brink has problems fielding it. However, he picks it back up and then is going to be gang tackled. Boy, everybody's in there. Williams, along with Castro. Also getting up is Steve Lee.
Getting up slowly is Mike Walsh. He's been in on a lot of tackles, and the defense for the Seraphs has been on the field a long time.
Well, the clock has got 33 seconds left on it in this third period. The scoreboard says Agoura 28, Seraphs nothing. DeGeniero back to pass, looking in the end zone for Brenneman. Brenneman is out of the end zone. Well covered that time down there by Steve Netzley.
I think DeGeniero threw that in a spot where nobody could catch it. Brenneman really wasn't open, like you said. He was covered real well. And DeGeniero threw that ball 10 yards out of the back of the end zone.
Well, rather than forcing it, throwing an interception, you're exactly right. He threw the ball away. So it'll be 3rd and goal.
This more than likely be DeGeniero's last series. Dabrowski's throwing the ball on the sidelines. Looks like he's warming up a little bit.
Little counter play this time to Stewart, and Stewart is going to be stopped short of the goal line. He'll be tackled at about the 9-yard line. There you see Dabrowski, number 18. And from the backside, that's Scott Heflin. Scott Heflin, number 14, a sophomore that's been brought up for tonight's game. And there's the gun. And at the end of the third period, the scoreboard looks good for the Chargers. They're out in front, 28-0.
Well, other than the finger injury to the referee, the third quarter started just like the first half did. Agoura scored 2 touchdowns, and one on long possession, one on a 69-yard drive by, a 69-yard win by Brock Hoffman. The Agoura defense is playing well. St. Bonaventure only had 1 first down in the third period for a 3 in the game.
Now, the Chargers have certainly dominated this thing. And unfortunately, Coach Spinner, Paul Spinner, has not been able to get his offense on track tonight. And his defense has done a good job. As you see one of the spectators trying to stay warm here. Very cool evening as Robert Somm is in to add 3 on a 25-yard field goal attempt. It's certainly long enough, and it's good.
Boy, Somm had a lot of leg with that.
25-yard field goal, so give 3 more to the Chargers. Just 2 seconds ticked off the scoreboard clock. There's 11 minutes 58 seconds remaining to be played in the ball game. The Chargers out in front, 31-0. Well, I think, Tony, it's time now to kind of clear the bench.
I think so. I think
Why
you're
not?
right.
Why not? Let everybody get an opportunity to play in a playoff game, because next week you'll never know what's going to happen, because certainly a loss anywhere along the line here will end the season.
Kind of odd to say, Bill, but the field goal there by Somm, I think, is kind of important, because if you get a little further along in the CIF playoffs, 3 points might be important to see. And when there's something like that, you know now you have a field goal kicker. He didn't get a chance to kick too many field goals this year, but you saw the leg there. He kicked the ball 15 yards out of the end zone, so he has a pretty good leg.
Dykes back deep for the Seraphs as Somm hits another squib kick that Chris Dykes can't field. And did he touch it? If he did, John Gillette will pick it
10
up.
yards, live ball. That's a touchdown. Ball goes 10 yards, it's live.
Question is, you cannot advance a muff kick or punt. Now the question is, can you return a muffed kickoff? And the officials are trying to sort things out as John Gillette thinks he scored a touchdown, and we'll have to wait for the ruling because he may not have been able to advance it. We'll get another chance to take a look at it.
I don't think he touched it, Bill,
Well,
to tell you the truth.
Maybe we'll get a chance to see it.
If he doesn't touch it, it's a touchdown.
I don't know that he touched it, Tony.
If he doesn't touch it, it's a touchdown because it's an onside kick, live ball.
Question is, can you advance it, however? Well, evidently they're going to rule that he did touch it. They cannot advance it, and it will be Charger ball at the 10-yard line.
Oh, Gillette, they take one away from him. They're going to see if we get a replay here. They're going to see if they can freeze frame and see if Dykes did touch the ball.
Well, it got by him pretty quickly. I don't know that he touched it. However, Gillette was there to cover it, very wisely cover the ball, even if he didn't touch it. The officials rule that he did, and Dabrowski has got the Chargers in gear, 1st and goal at the 10-yard line. Brink gets the call, and Brink will fight forward for about a yard, and that's it.
The Seraph defense, Bill, is worn out. They're completely down now, getting up slowly. Seemed a little banged up. Guard took the ball right at him.
Bill Robinson, the player that was slow in getting up. So the Chargers making mass substitutions. Actually, they're not mass substitutions. They're a few select substitutions. Dabrowski at quarterback, Stewart and Brink in the backfield. Brink takes it, and he will score. Eric Brink, 9-yard touchdown run. And this thing is getting absolutely out of hand.
Dick Motta once said, the game's not over until the fat lady sings. Or the opera's not over till the fat lady sings. It's about that time.
Now this thing is certainly out of reach. Somm in for the extra point. Out of the hold of Taylor. Troy Taylor puts it down. Somm hits it. And it's good right through the middle of the uprights. 10 minutes, 46 seconds left to be played in this game. And the Chargers are getting it on. They're out in front, 38-0.
I think there's going to be next week for Agoura High School football this year. And I'm not to be repetitive, but I mentioned it earlier, Bill. This is the sharpest I've seen this club this year.
There you see the scoring by quarters, and the Chargers able to put points on the board in each quarter. Let's take another look at that touchdown run by Eric Brink. He gets hit at the line of scrimmage, and then he's in the end zone, touchdown. So we've seen Hoffman on 3 touchdowns, John DeGennaro on 1 touchdown, and Eric Brink on a touchdown, and a field goal of 25 yards by Robert Salm. And you put those together, and you look at the scoreboard, and it says 38 big points for the Chargers. Salm again, and Dykes is going to be taken to the ground at the 26-yard line. And
my toes are frozen.
Some frustrations out there.
You hate to see this in a game like this. There's nothing, especially with the Agoura players. They should be frustrated. Just back away. But the Seraphs are getting a little tight, a little upset.
Well, it's been a long night for the Seraphs. And actually, I think they've got to be quite pleased that they even got here, Tony, because their coach, Paul Spinner, said that they were picked to be 4th in their league, and finishing 3-2. They were runner-up in the Tri-Valley League, and they did make it to the playoffs, and that's got to be, quite an accomplishment when you're not even picked to either be 1, 2, or 3.
Well, the Tri-Valley League this year, Bill, sent 3 representatives. That's respectable. They had 4 good clubs this year. St. Bonaventure being one, San Ynez, a very good football team, and Moore Park, the 3rd representative.
Gonzalez out of the shotgun formation this time, hoping that a flag will be thrown, hoping he can find a receiver. And the ball was intended for Mike Beebe. However, once again, Gonzalez was off the money. A legal procedure against the Seraphs. I think the Chargers would be wise to decline that penalty. Dan Hastings a little shaken up coming off the field, as Dave Baldwin talks to the captains.
Okay, you've got an illegal procedure on the white team. It's going to be declined. It's going to be a 2nd down.
Oh, the pairings, Bill, in the CIF playoffs, the Frontier League representatives, I'll get back to it after this play.
2nd down, 10. Gonzalez. Pass is going to be complete. His 2nd completion on the night. And Alan Colson finally hauls it in. And it'll be a Seraph's 1st down.
You're right, Bill. That's his 2nd completion, 13 attempts tonight.
The 48-yard line. Mr. Gonzalez will be very happy when this one is over, I'm sure.
Anyway, back the Frontier League representatives this year, as we all know, in the CIF playoffs are Santa Clara, the #1 team, Agoura, the #2 team, and Santa Paula, the #3 team. Santa Clara opens tonight with Moore Park, the 3rd place finisher in the Tri-Valley League.
1st and 10 for the Seraphs. Gonzalez again completes it. This time, and out of bounds at the 25-yard line is number 88, Gene Scampone.
Jimmy!
Scampone able to pick up a big 1st down. We'll get another chance to take a look at it. The ball thrown pretty well that time by Gonzalez.
Not a bad throw by Larry Gonzalez.
Had plenty of time.
Agoura's loosening up, playing that prevent defense now.
When you're out in front 38-0, you're certainly going to bend a little bit.
It's pretty hard to break ahead 38 points.
You got that straight. 1st and 10. Seraphs. Gonzalez going to try to get outside and isn't going to make it.
I think it was a broken play.
Darren Stiglitz in on the stop, and it looked to me as if that wasn't a broken play, and it may have been just a called play because there weren't any receivers out there. So it might have been just an attempt by Gonzalez to try to mix them up a little bit and try to get outside. I don't know, though. Their offense certainly has not been very effective tonight at whatever they've tried to do.
I think you might be right there. I just thought I saw him miss a handoff to Ybarra. Ybarra kind of blasted by him a little bit.
Second down, let's call it 8. Gonzalez throws the ball, and it's going to be intercepted. Doug Johns makes the interception at the 2-yard line. Doug Johns, a junior, he ran a great pass route, and Gonzalez completed his 4th pass of the night. However,
and the first one to the guy in the blue shirt.
That's right. It should have been the 3rd interception of the night. However, it was the 1st. We'll get another chance to take a look at it.
I think there's a little misreading here in the pattern.
Johns there, nice catch. Tries the old hand down drill, but hasn't been practicing enough on it. Wasn't able to keep his feet. However, the Chargers will take over. They'll have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 2-yard line. Dabrowski will take it on a quarterback sneak across the 5-yard line, and a penalty flag will be thrown.
I think on that last interception, the intended receiver, Scamponi, fell down. It was overthrown, but the intended receiver did fall down.
Well, the preliminary signal is holding against the Chargers.
Trying to figure out here, Bill, I've got the CIF playoffs, the bracket in front of me. And if it all holds true to what the bracket says here in the paper, the Agoura St. Bonaventure winner will play the winner of Bell Jeff and Lusinger. Lusinger out of, I believe, is Lawndale down by the airport. Is an 8-1-1 club who is a 3rd seed in the Desert Mountain Conference tonight. And Santa Paula, the 3rd place team in the Frontier League, meets the number 1 team from the Tri-Valley League, Santa Ynez. Here's the call by the referee.
Okay, you've got a holding. You've got it on the blue team. You've got a first down. First down. Here we go.
Half the distance to the goal. Big penalty of 1 yard. So it'll be 1st down and 11. Clock now 8 minutes and 10 seconds and winding down as you see Richard Dabrowski. He'll take it again on the quarterback sneak. And in on the stop for the Seraphs was John Muldoon. So I'm certain with this kind of field position, Tony, we might even see another quarterback sneak.
I think so. I think they're just trying to get some punting room here and get the ball out of their own end zone.
Something very safe, obviously, because they don't want to turn the ball over. And certainly, I'm sure the defense would like to see a shutout tonight.
I think Coach Grumger would like to see it also.
2nd down, 9. Oh, my goodness, and they mix us up. Dabrowski, a little play-action pass, and it's going to be complete to Ladd Elmore. Ladd Elmore, just a junior, and it appears as if he has picked up a 1st down. We'll take another look at it. The bottom right-hand part of your screen, you'll see the tight end come across the middle.
Nice catch. Kind of held it on his hip there for a second. And both of us predicting quarterback sneaks or something tight. And Coach Grumger pulls out a quick slant to the tight end.
I'm not sure that Coach Grumger pulled that one out. Dabrowski may have called that one, Tony.
Well, that's gutsy.
Why not? 1st and 10. There you go. Ball given straight ahead. And nowhere. I believe it was Brink on the carry. No, it was not. It was number 48. No, I believe it was Scott Kraft.
Yep. 5'8", 150-pound senior.
Kraft able to pick up a yard on the play, and that was it. As the clock still winding ever so slowly down. Ball this time is going to be given to Rob Salfin, and Salfin, a little motor scooter, 5'7", 140-pounder, picked up 8 yards on the play.
From our vantage point, Bill, we've been saying that 38-0's insurmountable, but I think the coaches of the Agoura team coming out of the press box might put the icing on the cake there. They're coming down relaxed looking. They've taken their headsets off, coming down to enjoy the game now.
You see Omar Castro down there, the nose guard. 3rd down and 1. Option play, and Dabrowski is going to really get hammered. Boy, the first guy in there was Walt Williams. The second guy was Chris Ybarra. And yes, sir, thank you, ma'am. Going to take another look at it.
Yeah, actually, Dabrowski gets hit twice here if we get a chance to see it again. He fakes the ball in the middle of the line of scrimmage, and there's a collision there. There's the first hit. Dabrowski gets his lunch eaten there.
And Ybarra. And it appears as if the Serifs are going to call timeout. 5 minutes, 16 seconds left to be played in this 4th period. And certainly the Agoura Chargers will continue their 1985 season. Certainly the officials crew out there, I'm sure, is concerned of the well-being of Joe Garces. As you see the insignia on the back of one of the helmets in memory of Coach Bill Belcher, he was one of the assistant coaches that passed away earlier in the year, and they actually dedicated the season to Coach Belcher. Also, we'd like to thank a lot of the people and sponsors that made this broadcast possible and helped out with the Agoura Booster Club, Taco Bell, Burger King, Baskin Robbins. Boy, there's 3 good ones.
Sounds pretty good. I'm hungry.
It's about that time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Psalm, a short punt that is going to bounce at the midfield stripe, and then for some reason, I can't understand why, one of the Serifs decided to go for it, but they are going to maintain control and possession of the ball. They'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line. As you see number 71 there, that's Brian King. King was down there trying to cover the ball.
I think King might have thought it might have hit a Serif in the back of the foot. The guy that was blocking Brian King, the ball kind of hit behind him and took a funny bounce, kind of looked like it hit him in the ankle, but I guess it didn't. I've just been informed, Bill, if we're on the road or we're at home, no, I should say the Agoura Chargers, we will cover it next week.
1st down and 10. Gonzalez again, back to pass, has got a receiver open and he misses him. Intended receiver, Gene Scampone. Scampone down there in between the defensive back and linebackers, and if I'm not mistaken, Garcia, check that, Gonzalez has only completed 4 passes on the night. Clock is stopped, 4 minutes, 38 seconds, as you see the Agoura cheerleaders and song girls who have got to be quite pleased with what their team has done tonight. They're out in front 38-0. 2nd 10. Ybarra slips and falls at the line of scrimmage.
Checking the stats, and the statistician next to us, Bill. Gonzalez is 3 for 16 for 52 yards.
And that young man, Chris Ybarra, has got to be pretty disappointed. Certainly, I'm sure they had high hopes coming into this thing. I know last week against Moore Park, he had 136 yards rushing. However, tonight, he was playing a much stiffer opponent in the Chargers.
See if I can get some stats for us from Mr. Ybarra.
And we might even get our statistician's name so we can thank him for his efforts. Gonzalez looking for a receiver, can't find one. It's going to be in and out of the hands of Doug Johns. The intended receiver was Mike Beebe, and Beebe was down there at about the 35-yard line, so an incompletion will bring up a 4th down. Clock is stopped, 3 minutes, 51 seconds left to be played. And Coach Greminger will be looking forward to next week. Tony Marshall is
Tony Marshall Burton, our statistician tonight from the LA Times. We'll get a chance to read the article tomorrow morning in the paper.
All right, Tony, we want to thank you for the statistics. It certainly makes things a little bit more interesting for us, and I'm sure it makes things a little bit more interesting for our viewers.
As they're watching the game.
I know maybe, well, we have a timeout on the field with 3 minutes 51 seconds remaining to be played in the game. The Chargers out in front, 38-0. We'll be back after this.
You're tuned to TV8. TV8 is the community programming channel for Store Cable Communications, serving Thousand Oaks, Westlake Village, Agoura Hills, City of Moorpark, City of Camarillo, and the City of Santa Paula.
The pass overthrows the intended receiver, and it was Alan Colson. So the ball will be turned over for the Chargers. And while we were away at our changing of the tape, I believe we got a bit more information regarding Brock Hoffman's final statistics on the night.
Bill, Brock Hoffman's, they're not official, but we have him for 20, or I should say the LA Times, and Mr. Burton has him for 27 carries and 250 yards.
Well, wait a minute. They are official.
I guess this is about as official as we can get.
That's right.
The LA Times.
You got it. Ball is going to be given to Southland, and Southland is going to work his way forward for a couple of yards on the play.
John DeGennaro tonight was 5 for 8, 95 yards and 1 interception.
He did score 1 touchdown.
Hoffman scored 3. Be interesting to read the article tomorrow morning in the paper, see if it's the same game we saw.
Well, certainly, I think that the Chargers obviously had the Seraphs outmanned. Southland, again, with some blockers and some running room, works his way inside the 40-yard line to the 36-yard line. It'll be close, and I believe it will be just shy of the first down. It'll be 3rd down, I believe. And you'll remember, Tony, when they brought the chains in last time, it was Joe Garces who went out with a finger injury, and we hope that he certainly is going to be okay, and it's going to be short, and they're not going to bring the chains in, just as we thought. Southland will pick up a 1st down and more. He picks up 7 yards, and there's an excellent hit applied, and it was Mark Garcia, 5'8", 165-pounder, really put it to Southland.
Just lowered his head and decked Southland. You know, Bill, I mentioned it a couple times at the beginning of the game. The Agoura defense looks sharp. We've got to give credit to the assistant coaches of Agoura and Fred Williams, the defensive coordinator. They came out with a 4-man front, dropped 7 men into a zone, and as a result, Larry Gonzalez was only 3 for 17 tonight.
2 minutes remaining to be played in the ball game. Southland, one more time. Look at him go. 1st down and a lot more. He's going to be tackled inside the 10-yard line all the way down to the 9-yard line. 27-yard run by Rob Southland. And I don't know if you noticed or not, Tony, but the referee, Dave Baldwin, brought the chains down. They're not even set up, and he wound the clock because there's just 1 minute 45 seconds left, and I'm not sure that he would care if the Chargers scored another touchdown or not.
I got to believe the second unit would like to get in the end zone.
Southland, again.
He wants to get in.
He's down around the 5-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and goal. We had an opportunity to take another look, or have an opportunity, I should say. Rob Southland, here's an isolated look. Look at him right there. Boy, great job.
Nice running.
Steve Natsley was hanging on. Southland carried him for 5 more yards. 2nd and goal. Ball this time is going to go to the tailback, and diving for the end zone is number 48, Scott Kraft, and Scott Kraft is in the end zone. The scoreboard clock just under a minute to play. And Scott Kraft dives for the end zone. And now there's a little bit of confusion out there, Tony, because the second team is out there, and they don't kick very many extra points. So I see Robert Somm out there counting 1, 2, 3, 4. Most likely they'll get a delay of game penalty, and it probably won't make any difference. There's the flag. It'll be a delay of game call, and the ball will be moved back 5 yards. As you see Robert Somm there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did you see him point to himself?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah, he got to 11. Here's the call.
Okay, you've got it. Just stay out. You've got a dead ball. You've got a delay. You've got it on the blue team. You've got an extra point try.
You got all kinds of things going on out there.
That's right. I'll tell you what else you got. You got a 44-0 ball game.
And a tremendous stat after this extra point, I'll give you, Bill.
And a snap. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, I'll tell you, that time it was Scott Heflin, the sophomore, that was in there to add the extra point. He was actually the holder. Somm didn't even able to get a chance to kick it, and Heflin really got drilled.
Heflin got drilled, but Somm comes off the field holding his right arm.
There you see the score. Let's take another look at that touchdown by Scott Kraft over the left side, number 48. Runs out of a tackle there and dives underneath for the score.
Here's a stat for you, Bill, real quick. Agoura has carried the ball tonight 53 times for 385 yards on the ground alone.
Not a bad offensive effort. Get another opportunity to take a look at the extra point that didn't quite make it. And you saw Somm trying to cover the ball. He actually got hit as he was trying to recover the ball. There's no reason for him to, because it's just a dead ball anyway. And I believe we've got a different kicker, and it's John Gillette that has got the thing teed up. And there you see him right there, number 21. And he's kind of pointing into the sky, looking to Coach Grimminger. Do you want me to kick it up in the air, or do you want me to kick the top of it, or what do you exactly want me to do, Coach?
Coach Grimminger counting the amount of players he's got on the field right now.
So Somm not in the game, and John Gillette will get a try. And he hits the top of the ball, and it's taken. And a big, vicious tackle on Robert Donahue. And a flag is going to be thrown, and I believe it'll be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and another flag will be thrown.
They just threw Robert Lichman out of the game.
The ref just gave us the mic back.
I have a feeling that there was a personal foul, unsportsmanlike against the Seraphs, a dead ball unsportsman on the Chargers, and it appears as if it's an offsetting penalty. The ball will stay right where it's at.
Let's go, Dean.
Feels like the temperature just dropped about 5 degrees all of a sudden.
My goodness, it is chilly tonight.
He does. He practices, but he just took it to death.
Total offense tonight. How about 490 yards?
For Agoura, and I'll get you the Seraph total offense in about 30 seconds, Bill.
Boy, that's absolutely incredible. First down and 10 for the St. Bonaventure Seraphs. Ball at the 49-yard line. Just 54 seconds remaining to play in the ball game. And Larry Gonzalez would just like to get some kind of points. Gonzalez throws the ball. It's going to be behind the intended receiver. The clock will stop. Stacy Walters, the intended receiver. And if I'm not mistaken,
Maybe not official.
the St. Bonaventure Seraphs are under 100 yards in total offense, and the Chargers, on the other hand, have 490 yards total offense. That is absolute domination. And I certainly think the score is reflective of that statistic, Tony.
10 points per 100 yards.
Second and 10. Gonzalez throws the ball and it's going to be intercepted. Picked off this time by Alan Cohen.
He might go all the way.
And he picks up a block, and they're going to throw a clip and a flag. And Ybarra finally chases Cohen out of bounds. And once again, Tony, it was a questionable clip. And I certainly think that possibly the officials are maybe feeling somewhat sorry for the Serifs. We'll get another chance to take a look at it. Ybarra was the man that was clipped, and you'll see Cohen with the interception. Right there. And let's see if we can see the clip. Watch number 44.
Right there.
Boy, and I guess it's a brush. It looked like Jody McGee. Once again, the culprit that was down there, was it 81 or 51?
Kurt Messersmith.
Kurt Messersmith was a guy that evidently was down there thinking about clipping. However, the officials are going to rule a clip. Well, actually, now they say it's not a clip, it's not a hold. My goodness, he was hit from behind, if anything. So the clock will wind down, and I don't think the Chargers will run another play. We'll get another opportunity to see the interception by Alan Cohen. And here it is. Watch number 44, and you'll see Messersmith right there. Boy, oh boy, questionable. And while we were away, the scoreboard clock went to zeros. The gun sounded, and there you see the final score. Total domination tonight. The Agoura Chargers, 44. St. Bonaventure, nothing.
Agoura looked very sharp tonight, Bill, and they seem very prepared. Hopefully they get Papa Duplo back next week. And whoever they meet, they're going to be in for a tough game next week.
Well, I definitely agree with you, Tony. Tonight, it has been a game of total domination. The Agoura Chargers with 490 yards total offense. And the St. Bonaventure Serifs, 93 yards total offense. There you see the people that made this game and broadcast possible tonight. We want to thank everybody for braving the weather conditions here. A very, very chilly evening at Agoura High School. The final score, and it wasn't luck tonight. As you hear Rod Stewart, it was a lot of action, a lot of heart. The Agoura Chargers, 44. The St. Bonaventure Serifs, nothing. For Bill Wilson, this is, how about for Bill Wilson, Tony Dyer, and everybody saying so long from Agoura High School.
Next week.